Welcome to the 30th episode of Democracy at the Crossroads. Today, some of you must have looked at the thumbnail and wondered what exactly I am going to talk about. Those who have read the news about the suicide of Benjamin Netanyahu's longtime psychiatrist, Moshe Ya'alon, on November 6 would understand the context immediately. Moshe Ya'alon, a celebrated psychiatrist of Israel, known for his groundbreaking work on mental illness, was found dead at his home in Tel Aviv last Monday with possibly self-inflicted gun wound. That in itself would have passed off without much notice, much fanfare rather, as some freak incident. But it seems Moshe Ya'alon's suicide note has some devastating content, suggesting that the stress of treating a mentally wrecked Israeli Prime Minister propelled him to commit suicide. This suicide raises obvious questions. How vicious a psychotic patient must have been to drive his treating psychiatrist, an illustrious professional of repute, to take his own life. Well, Ya'alon's suicide note had some answers. This note, discovered alongside Ya'alon's dead body, pointedly implicates Netanyahu, accusing the Prime Minister, who has been his patient for the last 9 years, of having sucked the life right out of me. That's what he wrote. In this poignant note, Ya'alon has painted a very green portrait of his relentless efforts to understand and heal Israeli Prime Minister. He characterized Netanyahu's mind as a black hole of self-contradiction, highlighting the formidable challenges he faced in treating the abusive Prime Minister for years. In the suicide note's final lines, Ya'alon has explicitly identified Netanyahu as the source of his despair and suffering, implicating Bibi, as Netanyahu is known to Israelis for his tragic suicide. Ya'alon was apparently working on converting his diary into a book about his tragic experience with Netanyahu. Several chapters of an unfinished manuscript entitled Psychotic on Steroids. Mind you, Psychotic on Steroids. Those chapters were found in his study. This manuscript offers us a glimpse of Moshe Ya'alon's inner struggle in dealing with a mentally wrecked Prime Minister and the daunting challenge that Ya'alon faced in seeking to guide a deranged man to rationality. Here are some excerpts from Ya'alon's writing. I can't take it anymore, Ya'alon writes. He quotes from Netanyahu's assertions during the treatment session. What are some of these assertions by Netanyahu? Ya'alon quotes, robbery is redemption. That's what is Netanyahu's position. Apartheid is freedom. That's what Netanyahu kept saying. Peace activists are terrorists. Murder is self-defense. Piracy is legality. Palestinians are Jordanians. Annexation is liberation. There is no end to such contradictions. Yatom wrote. More devastating lines were to follow. I'm quoting Yatom again. Freud, Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis, promised rationality would reign in the institutional passions. But Yatom writes, Freud never met Bibi Netanyahu. This guy, Netanyahu, would say Gandhi invented brass knuckles. Gandhi invented brass knuckles. What could be a more shearing comment on the mental state of the Israeli Prime Minister? Look at another excerpt from the manuscript. It's a diary noting. Monday, March 8. Bibi Netanyahu came to my house at 3 for his afternoon session. At 4, he refused to leave and claimed my house was actually his. Then he locked me in the basement overnight while he lavishly entertained his friends upstairs. When I tried to escape, he called me a terrorist and put me in shackles. I begged for mercy, but he said he could hardly grant mercy to someone who didn't even exist. Just imagine. Such a mental wreck is the Prime Minister of Israel. The tragedy is that this psychotic man has gone bonkers, killing thousands of children, women and innocent Palestinians in Gaza Strip and West Bank in last month, in last several years. Yatom's both suicide note and the manuscript only reaffirms that Bibi Netanyahu is a mentally unstable man who can wreak havoc. Not surprising that such a mental wreck has turned into a war criminal, a perpetrator of genocide. The inner working of the brain of this psychotic man now resembles that of another similar mass murderer, Hitler, Adolf Hitler. Bibi Netanyahu must meet the same fate as Hitler did, so that the humanity can rest in peace. Thank you.